Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning is on politics. The fall primary election is going to be held on Tuesday, August 14th, and on the ballot will be the partisan races for Attorney General, Secretary of State, U.S. Senator, Representative in Congress, odd-numbered districts for State Senator, all districts for State Assembly, county offices for Sheriff, as well as Governor and Lieutenant Governor, to name a few. We have several candidates that are running for office joining us today, starting with Mandela Barnes, who is a candidate for Wisconsin Lieutenant Governor. How are you, Mandela?
I'm great as always. I'm really good time to be here. Always great to hang out with you and talk about
Thank you. Yeah, you have been here before, so it is great to have you join us. Just to refresh everyone's memory, you served as a Democrat in the Wisconsin State Assembly, 11th District, from 2013 to 2017, and I believe you were elected when you were only, what, 25?
I was 25 when I first got elected.
Wow,
so, yeah,
okay.
Former state representative. I did that in my 20s.
That's amazing. And you ran for state senate in 2016, but lost that primary to incumbent Senator Lena Taylor. Tell us what you've been up to for the past year.
So for the past year, I've been working for a group called State Innovation Exchange, and we provide research and policy support to progressive state legislators across the country. So I've had an opportunity to travel state to state and work with different legislators, different legislative caucuses to help them, build their platform, set their agenda, and be more effective at governing. I got to work with leaders who wanted to lead with a vision, and we helped that process. And that's what we have to do here in Wisconsin as Democrats if we want to be successful in November. We have to lead with a vision.
Okay, so I'm very interested in knowing what attracted you to the office of Lieutenant Governor.
So going across the country, you see so many exciting things happening in different states, and naturally, obviously, I want that for Wisconsin. I want that for home. I plan to stay here. It's where I plan to raise a family one day. So the fact is, I want Wisconsin to be the best state for that. I want Wisconsin to be a state that provides opportunity once again. My grandfather moved here after serving in World War II, and he had opportunity. He worked at A.O. Smith for over 30 years and retired comfortably. Those type of opportunities don't exist for people my age anymore. So that's one reason why I decided to run for Lieutenant Governor, because this is a year that Democrats can be successful. But more than getting elected, we have to be effective.
So we've had the current Lieutenant Governor, Republican Rebecca Clayfish, here in recent months, and she touted Governor Walker's welfare reform, job opportunities under the Task Force on Minority Employment, and the addition of Foxconn to the state economy. So I'm just interested, where do you stand when I mention those things? Yeah,
the addition of Foxconn to the economy is the reduction of money in the pocketbooks of people across the state. It's like an $1,800 tax. This is a $200,000 per job subsidy we're talking about. The state just opened up the vault to a large foreign manufacturer, and it's very unfortunate because there's going to be so much environmental abuse. Not only will it be an economic disaster, but it'll be an environmental catastrophe if we don't rein in some of the provisions that were afforded to a Foxconn. And we got to look at the rate of poverty in this state. It's at its highest point. 2 years ago, poverty was at its highest point since 1984. Income inequality in this state is at its highest point since the Great Depression. The real problem is corporations continue to write the rules in the state of Wisconsin as they do in this country. And that's why you see the bulk of tax breaks going to the most wealthy individuals and large corporations. Too many people have been left behind here in Wisconsin. That's why our middle class is falling quicker than most other states. So if we really want to talk about building the economy, it starts with building the middle class, expanding the middle class, making sure that more people have access to opportunity.
And how do you go about doing that?
Yeah, so we have to look at where job growth is actually occurring in this country, and you look at the renewable energy sector. That's where job growth is outpacing the rest of the entire economy. If Wisconsin used even a fraction of the money that we spent on Foxconn, $4.5 billion total if you count local subsidies, we can be a leader in renewable energy production, and we can put people to work at a living wage, and long-term sustainable growth can be the result of that type of employment. We can implement an entire Green New Deal where we retrofit our public spaces to be renewable energy compliant, and that type of investment pays for itself in 15 to 20 years.
And I always hear about the thousands and thousands of jobs that are available in especially the field of manufacturing, but the lack of individuals who are available with the skills to take on these jobs. So are you in agreement with how there are certain programs that are set up to kind of put people to work for the money that they receive as assistance?
Yeah, so the thing is, a lot of these available jobs don't pay a living wage. And it's very difficult for a person to go to work every day and still barely make ends meet, to barely be able to afford to pay rent, to barely be able to put food on the table. And that's why, I've been strongly in favor of raising our minimum wage, which is great for growth overall. We raise the minimum wage, rising tide lifts all boats. There were 18 different states that raised their minimum wage January 1st of this year, and Wisconsin was unfortunately left behind in that progress.
Yeah, so when you look at the issues, what is the main thing that you have your mind set on as far as tackling if elected?
Yeah, so that means my campaign is built on the essentials of opportunity, which is equity in healthcare. It means we take the Medicaid expansion. It also means that we create a public option for Badger Care. It means that we engage in real environmental protection and also looking at the opportunity to grow our economy through renewable energy production and education, providing education in every zip code, quality education, and also a path to free 2-year college and debt-free university. And people who have student loan debts, we should be able to refinance that debt. We should be able to borrow money at the same rate that big banks get to borrow money. And
Well, you've always felt strongly and fought hard for community schools. Back in May, when MPS was facing a budget deficit, Governor Walker hinted that it may be time to shake things up within MPS and make the districts smaller. Do you have thoughts on that?
Yeah, I do not think that is the way to go. Governor Walker has not been great at education, as we see, and that's why so many of our younger, brighter teachers are leaving the profession after only 2 or 3 years because they've been treated horribly, and understanding the lack of investment. And it's more than just investing in the school building itself or the school district. We have to invest in children. We have to invest in communities, because there's no such thing as a failed school, only a failed community. The communities that have suffered from a lack of investment, it plays out in the performance of our schools, unfortunately.
And your mother is a retired public school teacher.
She is.
Your father, retired auto worker who's very active with the union. So needless to say, Wisconsin gained national attention when it became the 25th state to adopt a right-to-work law, dividing the country in half between anti-union and union-friendly labor law regime. So quickly, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so that happened. I was a member of the assembly at the time. I'll never forget it. We were on the floor debating for 24 hours. I gave a 45-minute speech. My arm got all stiff and cramped, but it was the right thing to do for working people, because I wouldn't be where I am today if it were not for what I had gotten as a result of my parents both being union members. And we should expect that. We should want that for all children across the state of Wisconsin. Again, our middle class is falling quicker than most other states in the country, and it's due because of Governor Walker's successful attacks on working people across this state. We just want to make sure that people are paid what they're worth, and union membership has proven to be the best avenue to make that happen, to grow the middle class, especially the black middle class in Milwaukee.
And so with the final minute, what do you want viewers to know as you prepare for these primaries coming up on August 14th?
I want viewers to know that there is actually an election for lieutenant governor, because most people are shocked to find out that you actually vote for lieutenant governor in a primary. So that's the first thing. Second, I want people to go to the ballot box knowing that Mandela Barnes has been the champion for education, for working people, and for our environment, and for healthcare, and our economy. And I'm the only person in this race that has that track record.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming by, and all the best to you.
Happy to stop by anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mandela Barnes is a candidate on the Democratic ticket for Wisconsin Lieutenant Governor. For more information on where he stands on the issues, you can visit his website at mandelabarnes.com. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll meet a young man who got involved in politics at an early age and is now a candidate for the Wisconsin State Assembly District 16. We'll talk to Kaylin Haywood II right after this.